Hello, I'm Peter Bergman. This is my official YouTube channel. I'll be updating you with the latest news, so please subscribe to my channel.
Welcome back to our channel, soap fans. It is a beautiful day to unpack the absolute madness unfolding in Genoa City. We have been tracking these storylines closely, and today's update is guaranteed to leave you entirely speechless. Let's dive right into the deep end. Okay, I literally cannot believe this. Can we please process this mess together? Unbelievable, guys. What is going on here? Might delete this later, but I seriously can't stay silent about this anymore. It is currently 3 a.m. My brain is completely fried from a decade-long journey of analyzing these characters, and I have officially reached my breaking point. I am ditching the script. I am breaking every single filter because the absolute sheer audacity of what just went down on our screens has pushed me over the edge into a realm of pure, unadulterated psychic damage. Listen, there are legacy legends carrying this entire franchise on their backs, and then there are people who are single-handedly testing my sanity, and I am here to call every single one of them out. We need to talk about Nick Newman, Phyllis Summers, and the absolute wild card that is Matt. Please tell me I'm not the only one losing my mind over this, because honestly, I am spiraling through a chaotic feedback loop of transcendent hype and absolute narrative betrayal right now, and I need the digital hive mind to witness my existential collapse. Look, we have to start by mapping out the absolute wreckage that is Phyllis Summers right now. Basically, Phyllis has been completely forced out of Newman Enterprises, and she is spiraling into a total victim mentality. She literally just had a disastrous, soul-crushing run-in with Daniel at Society, where he basically looked her in the eye and completely rejected her attempts to mend fences. Daniel is not having it, and honestly, can we blame him? But then Sharon, sweet, empathetic Sharon, steps in and decides to play therapist, telling Phyllis she needs to take control and not just accept being treated like an outcast. Sharon is low-key obsessed with fixing people, and this was a total game changer for Phyllis's fragile ego. Suddenly, Phyllis is practically vibrating with this desperate, chaotic need to prove she isn't a failure. She needs validation. She needs control. She is a walking, talking powder keg of unresolved trauma and wounded pride, just waiting for a spark to ignite her next spectacularly bad decision. Honestly, it is a masterclass in self-destruction, and we are all just hostages to her chaos. And then, on the completely opposite side of the spectrum, we have Matt. Wait, why are we like this? Why are we even pretending this situation at the Newman Ranch is normal? Basically, Victor Newman has Matt essentially held captive, treating him like some sort of lab rat in a twisted psychological experiment. Victor is running this rigorous test of sincerity, and Matt is just trying to survive. But here is the major flex. Matt finally gets a shower and a fresh change of clothes. He steps out feeling like a completely new man. The grime of his captivity is washed away, and suddenly he is looking entirely too fresh and entirely too vulnerable. Victor is plotting to use him. Nick is highly suspicious of the whole arrangement, and Matt is just existing in this bizarre, high-stakes limbo. Listen, when you put a freshly showered, desperate man in the crosshairs of the Newman family, you are basically begging for the universe to rip the fabric of reality apart, and oh boy, did it ever. Now, let's talk about Nick Newman, because honestly, the man is already running on fumes. He is already deeply frustrated with Victor for handing Chancellor over to Lily Winters, knowing full well that it is going to absolutely devastate Nikki. Nick is trying to be the protector, the voice of reason, the only sane person in a family of absolute megalomaniacs. He is questioning Victor's bizarre treatment of Matt, wondering what kind of sick game the mustache is playing this time. Nick is on high alert. His protective instincts are dialed up to 11, and he is marching around the ranch looking for answers. He is not in the mood for games. He is not in the mood for secrets. He is basically a heat-seeking missile of righteous indignation, and he is heading straight for ground zero. Honestly, Nick's entire existence right now is just one long, exhausted sigh, and he is completely unprepared for the absolute visual trauma he is about to walk into. Suddenly, the vibe completely redlines. Nick storms into the room. expecting to find Victor interrogating Matt, or maybe Matt just sitting there looking pathetic and anxious about his fate. But no. Instead, Nick walks straight into an absolute nuclear meltdown of a scene. Look, I need you to visualize this with me because my brain is still short-circuiting. Nick opens the door, and right there in the middle of the Newman Ranch, he catches Phyllis and Matt in an incredibly passionate, undeniably intimate encounter. Yes, you heard me right. Phyllis and Matt. I literally dropped my tablet when this happened. The sheer unadulterated shock of seeing these two locked in a heated moment is a total game changer that completely shatters the lore. Basically, Phyllis, running on the chaotic fumes of Sharon's pep talk and her own desperate need for control, has somehow found her way to Matt, the freshly showered, vulnerable pawn in Victor's game, and the chemistry just violently exploded. Let's do a high-octane jump cut into the exact anatomy of this scene because it is times wild. Matt is standing there in his new clothes, looking like a man who has just been given a second lease on life, but his eyes are wide with this mixture of terror and intoxicating adrenaline. And Phyllis has that predatory, completely unhinged look in her eye. She isn't just kissing him. She is times devouring, times the moment, using it as a desperate anchor to prove she still has power, that she can still manipulate the board, that she is still desirable and dangerous. The tension in the room is so thick you could cut it with a chainsaw. The physical proximity, the tangled hands, the sheer desperation radiating off both of them. It is a raw, unfiltered frame that packs a lethal crunch. Honestly, it is the most chaotic pairing we have seen in years. And the fact that it is happening right under Victor's roof is a level of disrespect that I am low-key obsessed with. And then there is Nick. Listen, Nick's reaction is everything. He doesn't just get mad. He completely and utterly loses his mind. He goes absolutely crazy. You can literally see the exact millisecond his soul leaves his body and is replaced by pure, blinding rage. His jaw drops, his eyes go dark, and the absolute betrayal washes over him like a tidal wave. This is Phyllis, the mother of Kel's child, the woman who is currently spiraling out of control, hooking up with Matt, the random captive that Victor is currently torturing with psychological tests. Nick's brain cannot process the math. He is screaming, he is throwing his hands up, his voice cracking as he demands to know what the actual hell is going on. It is a sonic boom of emotional devastation. He is furious at Phyllis for her reckless, self-destructive behavior, and he is furious at Matt for daring to touch her while living under the Newman roof. Basically, Nick is ready to commit murder, and I am sitting here screaming at my screen. Whoa, wait, I've really gone off chasing butterflies into another dimension here. Let me catch my breath. Am I hallucinating? Did Phyllis really just use Matt as a human band-aid for her shattered ego? Wait, maybe she is actually playing 4D chess? Maybe she knows Victor is testing Matt, and she is inserting herself into the narrative to ruin Victor's plan because she is mad about being pushed out of Newman Enterprises. Honestly, that would be a legendary top-tier maneuver, but no, wait. Contradicting myself here. Phyllis isn't thinking that far ahead right now. She is purely reacting. She was rejected by Daniel. She felt entirely powerless, and she just grabbed the first available source of validation she could find. Bringing the signal back, let's stick to the script. This isn't a master plan. This is a catastrophic emotional pileup, and Nick is the poor soul who just got run over by the wreckage. Look, we have to unpack the deep psychological damage this is going to inflict on all three of them. For Nick, this reinforces every single negative thought he has ever had about Phyllis. He is going to look at her and see nothing but the toxic, chaotic force that has disrupted his life for decades. His anger isn't just about the kiss. It is about the exhaustion of constantly having to clean up her messes. For Matt, this is a death sentence. Victor is already testing his sincerity. If Victor finds out that Matt is locking lips with Phyllis Summers while supposedly proving his loyalty to the Newmans, Victor is going to crush him into absolute dust. Matt just failed the test in the most spectacular, unpredictable way possible. And Phyllis, honestly, Phyllis is going to weaponize this. She is going to look at Nick's outrage and use it to fuel her own victim narrative. Oh, Nick is yelling at me. Everyone is against me. It is a vicious, endless cycle, and we are completely trapped in it. Basically, this entire sequence of events is why I am severely sleep deprived and screaming into a microphone at 3 a.m. The writers just took three completely volatile storylines: Victor's hostage situation, Phyllis's corporate downfall, and Nick's exhausted peacemaking, and smashed them together in a high velocity collision of pure soap opera perfection. I am absolutely hyperventilating. The sheer audacity of Phyllis to pull a stunt like this, the tragic vulnerability of Matt, and the nuclear explosion of Nick Newman's temper, it is a trifecta of unparalleled drama. I am low-key obsessed, I am deeply traumatized, and I literally cannot wait to see how they try to explain this away tomorrow. If Nick doesn't throw Matt out a window, I will riot. Wait, why are we like this? Why do we care so much? Because this is the lore, people. This is the raw, unedited, pulse-pounding drama that keeps us coming back. I need to go lie down, but honestly, I will probably just rewatch that scene 50 more times. End of rant.
Thank you for watching my video. I will be updating regularly with the latest news, so please remember to subscribe to my channel to support me.